This is a 5 to 10 minute activation you could do if you have foot problems, if your ankle's feeling weird, if you have shin splints, your Achilles, anything going up the chain, or your foot just feels dead. So what you want to do is start off actually rolling out that foot. And you don't want to be like doing it super fast. You want to actually have intention and knowing where you're at and where you're feeling pressure and where you're feeling pain. For me personally, I like using a tennis ball because it's a little bit softer. Lacrosse ball is okay if that's only what you have, but preferably a tennis ball. And find where the sticking points are. For me, it's typically under right here or the inside of my arch. So getting that nice and moving and getting pressure onto those parts, it's going to be beneficial. So like I was saying earlier, you don't want to be going off fast. You want to just get in that, breathe and relax. Try your best to open it up, getting pressure in there. Can move a little bit around there, but what you really want to worry about is the sticking points. And, staying there for a couple minutes would be good. And then getting to the other side, same thing. You might have one side tighter than the other, or they call those fascial adhesions. One side that is more sore than the other. And what we're doing right here is just getting feedback from the foot and putting pressure in these specific spots and making sure the foot and the ankle is able to slide and glide right. I'm just kind of speeding it up right here, but this is something you want to do for 2 to 3 minutes on each foot. If not, just 2 minutes, good solid being on that spot. You could even get down and honestly, if you're really not feeling good, not feeling good, but if you're just sore in your calving area, find a spot that's pretty tough and sit on it. And same thing, breathe. Think like you're flashing a light into that spot and letting the connective tissue envelop and warp around that ball and try to release it. Try to really relax that spot, really try to relax your body so your fascia could relax as well and all that connective tissue. Um, if you're really feeling it, you could definitely do it like that and get all around the calf, and especially in the shins, especially if you have some shin splints, you're gonna have some spots in there. So same thing, just find a spot that's tough and sit in it and just relax and breathe. If doing the foot is enough for you, then good. But if you're actually having some problems up and down the chain, it's good to actually roll it out and not doing it super fast and moving it all around. You want to sink in that spot and relax and let your connective tissue relax in itself too, because it's going to be a lot of pressure, especially if you're hurting. So getting that to move is going to be really good. And after you do that, the second exercise is just actually waking up the foot. So same thing like when we do split squats and elephant walks, with the toes pointed in, not super crazy. What we want to look at is actually having your ankle bone to um to the end of your pinky straight. So that being straight is actually going to have your toes in. So that's technically straight for your foot. And what we want to think about is kind of rotating our hips just a bit out and then getting off on one leg. And we want to hold this isometric for like, if you could hold it 2 minutes, but if it's too tough, a minute, minute 30. You want to shoot for 2 minutes, two to 3 minutes on this. And what you want to do is notice where you're putting a lot of your pressure on your foot. Are you putting it more on your left side? Are you putting it more on your heel? Are you putting it more on your right? In your arch or the other arch? And just notice that. And then with this right leg, a lot of people when they do isometrics, they want to leave it kind of loosey-goosey. What you want to do is actually have it in front of you and flex up like you're doing a tib raise on this leg and keep it flexed like another isometric. But you don't want to external rotating it out. You want to have it in, and same thing, having that ankle bone to pinky straight and just really relaxing and paying attention to the spots that are tough or you're having the weight on and everything like that, and just having your mind on it. In these exercises, you really want to focus on what you're feeling and how your body's reacting to this, because what we're really trying to do is connect with that connective tissue, because your foot and your ankle and your shin is mostly connective tissue. When you go more higher up the chain, it's a lot more muscle, but connective tissue, you want to really try and connect with it. That's why isometrics are really good for the lower legs, because it's mostly connective tissue, and isometrics are connective tissue dominant. Same thing for me personally on my right leg. I tend to favor more this way, so I'm trying to correct it, not overcorrect it, but almost just put awareness of it. If you just put awareness where you're putting your weight on, it would automatically change. And same thing, having that foot in front of you, flexing, breathing, tightening that core and having it brace well. So you could do that for 1 or 2 sets. If you just do 1 set, make sure it's like a good 1 set and it's really fired in there. I like doing a couple. But if you really, really want to open up your foot as well, also after that, that really activates and puts blood in there. So as the fascia adhesion rolls. But what really unlocked my foot and some other people's foot is actually doing what we call pronations, which your foot goes through supination and pronation when you walk and run. And if your foot is stuck in one or the other, which people call flat feet or high arches, if your foot is stuck in one or the other, it could cause problems up the chain, and your foot could just be sore in different spots because your foot's not doing its functions right, which is supinating and pronating. So getting one foot in front of the other and having this knee, it's called a negative shin angle. So get your knee behind your ankle, which would be more of a supination. You want to really, really think about having that heel and outside leg heavy. So this is my front leg. I want this heel and right here heavy. Having those heavy, I'm having all my weight on there. And then coming forward, keeping it heavy, keeping it heavy, keeping it heavy. And what you would notice is your arch collapsing and then come back up. What you really want to do and think about is do not grab and grip the floor with your foot, because that would lock your ankle up. Right here, what we're doing is unlocking the foot and the ankle at the same time. So keeping that heel and that ankle heavy. You almost want to feel your hamstrings while you do this, because how heavy you have your heel on the floor. And keep your chest up. I personally like doing it right here against like a wall, so you don't really have to think about balance. Just want to keep that heel and the outside of the ankle real heavy. You don't want to lose that contact at all. You want to feel that arch collapsing, but while keeping so much intention and weight onto the heel and the outside of the ankle, the foot. You even want to feel your soleus activate and stretch and contract while you do that. So doing some type of adhesion roll on your foot, on your calf, inside your shin, on the outside of your shin, and doing an isometric for 1 or 2 sets like that, but really having your mind muscle connection to your foot and these areas that you're feeling. Then doing a set or 2 of pronation is going to be a nice little 5 to 15 minute routine, depending on how much you do, for your foot, ankle. If you just want to activate it, if you're feeling a little sore, if your shins are feeling some type of way, if your bottom of your foot is sore, especially if you're running around in cleats or running around a lot, your bottom of the foot is going to be sore. So doing this and waking it up is going to be really good. Sending some blood in there and getting the structures to move, because there's so much things going on right here, but there's so much tissue in there, connective tissue. There's 26 bones and 33 joints in there, all in a single foot. So even coming out the chain, it's a lot more tendons and ligaments, which are connective tissue. So we just want to wake that up and get some blood in there so everything can feel better. But yeah, this is 5 to 10, 15-minute routine for your lower leg and ankle complex.